Welcome to another episode of Machibuse Podcast. Today we have another foreigner guest. The last time was Sam Howard, and today we have
My name's Kieron.
Kieron. And the way I met Kieron is that we met in the same writing group. It's right here in this coffee shop. Yeah.
You used to come to the writing group, but not as frequently as me, right?
Not frequently, but I met a lot of people there. I met Andy. I met Trevor and Macha, of course, which is who hangs out at Bluebirds like every single day. Well, Macha is over there.
She's just over there.
Yeah. But there's no cameraman today. So, but anyway, Kieron, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, my name's Kieron Halliday. I'm older than I look. I think. Well, I hope. I hope I look young. But I'm 48 next month. I've been living in Hanoi on and off for about 9 years, but I spent a lot of that time in other countries. And I sometimes teach English on the internet.
Occasionally, no?
Occasionally, but my real passion is poetry and hip hop and just creativity. And I like living somewhere. Luckily, the foreigner community here. I mean, we're all here exploiting our privilege. Let's be fair. We don't have to work as much, so we've got a little bit more time and money than we would have if we were at home. So what that breeds is a very creative community.
Yeah.
And I really like being part of it and seeing the bands and the musicians and the painters and the poets and the writers. And I just think it's a really cool way to live if you're lucky enough to just be born in the right place to have some kind of privilege in order to do this. So, I'm trying to do my best with it and not upset anyone.
I agree with you. Like having a scenes and being a part of it, it's just amazing. Like I love it when I see like young people like they play music, do poetry, write, paint, do like all kinds of stuff. And it's funny that you mentioned that your passion is also hip hop because I'm into a lot of hip hop, like Vietnamese and U.S. hip hop too, but mainly old school kind of type. That's my kind of thing,
I grew up listening to. I remember when I was like really young, quite young, around 10 years old, and my friend had the NWA Straight Outta Compton album, and like I would go around his house and sit on his bedroom floor, and we would play with Lego whilst listening to that album, which. He had hippie parents. They'd let him listen to whatever he wanted to, and I got into hip hop at like a young age. And, that's not my favorite album, but it's probably one of the first hip hop albums that I really got a lot of time to listen to.
My favorite album, like hip hop album of all time, is it's called A Journey into Abstract Hip Hop. It's I think it's a Malaysian or Thailand album, but my second favorite is I guess you know this one, Illmatic.
Illmatic, it's a great album. The thing I don't like about Nas, and this is very controversial, I upset people with this. He's never funny. Nas is never funny. Like he's great. He's amazing wordsmith, but he's so serious.
Oh yeah.
And my stuff is quite depressing, like a lot of it, because I don't really write for anyone else but myself, so a lot of it's just catharsis. It's like instead of writing a diary, I'll write a poem, right?
Yeah. I kind of get where you're coming from when you say that Nas is too serious. Like, it's not his stuff. It's not good. It's extraordinary. I gotta say his stuff, his albums, Illmatic, Stillmatic, they're all freaking amazing. It's just that what you say is that he takes himself a little bit too seriously compared to, like, let's say Tupac or I don't know, Eminem. Eminem like did a lot of satire and like concepts that are beyond beyond the stereotype.
I was a huge Tupac fan. Um, I think he's a very interesting, borderline schizophrenic person. He's very smart, and writing wise, I like the way that his songs spoke to each other. Like there were themes running through what he wrote, and it was almost like he was having a debate with himself a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So sometimes he would come from one side of the argument, and sometimes from the other.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes he'll be like misogynistic. Sometimes it'll be like love your mother, love your sister, and a very complex person, I would say.
Complicated and interesting and charismatic and funny at times. And I think charismatic's the. I really liked Eminem as well when he first came out.
Eminem is so good.
Yeah, like I don't listen to it. I don't really listen to much American hip hop anymore. But I was doing hip hop karaoke last night actually.
Oh, hip hop karaoke.
Yeah.
Now that's something I love to try because I do freestyling like most of the time.
I was doing it with Nikki. Nikki Ramon. I don't know how to pronounce his surname.
Yeah.
He's a freestyle rapper. He's great. Yeah. I did Dear Mama, and I did Rock Bottom from the Slim Shady album.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest albums, like a horrorcore. I think so. Horrorcore rap album of all time.
What was the one he did first? The mixtape one.
Infinite.
I have that, and when you listen to that after you listen to Nas's first album, Illmatic, Eminem was very heavily influenced by that album. I think Nas pushed the envelope a long way. Like Tupac did, like Eminem did. I was also like a massive like DMX fan. I just like the passion, like so he believes it. Like even though DMX was crazy, like
I would say that Nas pushed the boundaries in terms of skills, and Tupac in terms of culture. So Tupac pushed a lot of like the thug-like mentality, and he was more like a character. He was more of what's the word? The leader of this pack of young people, and he was like a poet in a way.
Tupac was a poet. He's a published poet.
He was a character.
He wrote poetry. He studied the arts. He studied like ballet, and he went to drama school. Like he was a very multifaceted individual. And one day he was a gangster, and the next day he was a very eloquent, slightly effeminate speaker.
The thing about Tupac is that he was so the gangster character, or you can say the thug-like character, came from his movie that he did called Juice in 1992. So he was not like a real actual gangster, but he played a character so well, and he got deep into that world, and he became Tupac.
He was also born in. His mother was a Black Panther. I think she was pregnant with him in jail.
Yeah.
So he grew up around a very politically charged movement, and that reflects in what he does as well.
He was a soldier more than a gangster.
He was a very interesting guy. I don't think there's a word that you can use to describe everything that Tupac was.
Yeah.
But I think he was amazing. I think he was a much more. I mean, as much as like people like the Biggie Tupac argument. Yeah, Biggie was a great flow.
Yeah, great rapper. But Tupac was more than a rapper. Tupac was like
he was like he had like some god complex or something. He was really interesting.
He was like an icon. He was an icon. He was a legend.
Very much. And he was with Madonna for a while.
Yeah, of course. And then Madonna was so saddened by the fact that Tupac.
But Madonna is one of the most iconic figures of
Yeah.
of her generation, right? Whether you like her music or not, she was very iconic, and she's like the sort of blueprint
Yeah.
the likes of Lady Gaga and
Yeah.
people like that.
Imagine imagine you being made like you're from the hood, and then one day you're from the hood, and then the other day you're dating Madonna.
Yeah.
Like driving, like Snoop Dogg has a story when he
Oh, yeah.
meets Tupac, and like it's Madonna, huh?
Yeah.
Like a prayer.
Yeah, and I love those guys, but for me, like with any writing, it's not like I never bought into like hood life or thug life or gangster life. Like I was never that excited about that when I listened to. I was more interested in the internal workings of the minds of the individuals, right? That's kind of what I find interesting. I got kind of, it's almost like a voyeurism. I want to peer inside people's heads, and that's one of the things I love about watching live hip hop. Live poetry is amazing.
Yeah, live poetry.
Like
Yeah.
I can just, I'll watch it, especially if it's their first time. It's just like you can feel, I can feel them. Like so, that's why I got into. I mean, I don't know. This is a podcast about me, but I should probably explain.
No, just do whatever.
what
It's
I
a
do,
podcast
right?
about you, about poems, about
okay.
poetry, about mainly poetry, because poetry is how you and I met.
Yeah.
So the thing about poetry is that, and rap in general, is that they come from the heart. They use words a lot, and you use rhythms. Like so rap contains music, but also it's depends on rhythms a lot to tell a story.
Poetry is like a subgenre. Sorry, hip hop is like a subgenre of poetry.
Yeah,
Hip hop is.
I agree.
Is just
Yeah.
It's just words, right? But obviously, the way you deliver it
Yeah.
and the music you choose to deliver it on may classify it as hip hop. But rap and hip hop, it's such a broad spectrum, and there's lots of songs which lean on hip hop, and there's lots of hip hop songs which lean on just being songs.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can put anything in a real box, and often the stuff that you can put in a box is so cliched that it's a bit awkward to consume. Like I like stuff which is just, it is what it is. My stuff is like, it just is what it is.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I am what I
Totally
am.
get it. Yeah.
And
Just don't measure to see who's better than who. I mean, there's some criteria, but it's like when it comes to the heart, then that's all that matters.
yeah, I think so. Or, I mean, even if it doesn't come from the heart, if it comes from the head, or if it comes from, the other brain, like wherever it comes from.
Yeah, wherever it comes from,
It's
the
like-
spiritual side of things.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like, like a lot of people write pieces from like about love and lust, and I have this piece I do. It's like a 12-minute beat poem called Demons,
Mhm.
where I explain at the beginning and at the end that I'm an agnostic, but then I embody all of the demons from Dante's Inferno.
Oh, yeah.
And then, because there's 7 demons, there's 7 sins, and 7 heavenly virtues, right? So I incorporate all of that in it, and for each one you find that emotion, because it's like those 7 sins are a large part of the spectrum of human emotion, which is infinite, obviously, but they're, if you could put them into boxes. And I love that poem. That's one of my favorite poems to perform. And yes, I'm coming from all of these dark places, and spectrum of human emotion is vast.
Yeah, I if the viewers of this podcast doesn't know, then Kieron writes a lot of poetry, and once he read his poetry, you read your poetry, and I was like, damn, those rhymes. So I was not surprised when you were influenced by hip hop a lot,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because what happened was, I'll tell you the story. About 6.5, 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm playing on my mic. Sorry. 6.5, 7 years ago, I was drunk
Mm-hmm.
and I was on Dang Tai Mai.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
The paradise
Yeah.
for drunk yards
Yeah.
and you know.
Love Dang Tai Mai. It's a shame they're knocking it all down. And I fell in through the door of the Snug, and there was a poetry night. And it was hosted by my friend Jack Collins.
Yeah.
He's now he's like a big wig in the poetry scene in Leeds, which is a relatively large city
Yeah.
in the UK. And there was all of these people in there reading poetry. I'd never stumbled across it before. I was drunk, but I used to record hip hop. I used to be a normal person. I had a long-term girlfriend, and I lived in a house, and we had like 2 cats,
Mm-hmm.
and normal jobs and a normal life.
Mm.
And I used to go in my spare room
Mm.
and record hip hop songs.
Okay.
So a lot of the stuff I do now, when you see me perform with the guitar, a lot of that stuff is really old stuff that I wrote back then. It's sort of evolved over the years. Anyway, I got up and did my hip hop songs as poems, just a cappella with more pauses, more dramatic pauses. Because if you haven't got a beat, you can just have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
And I thought everyone would just laugh at me or think that I was obnoxious or something, but everyone was cool as hell. And they were like, come back next week. And then I got involved in this huge poetry community with all of these English teachers. And then I met Paul Salnek. He's the owner of Boombox.
Shout out to Paul Sound. He's one of the real ones.
Everybody knows Paul Salnek because if you go in a toilet in Tay-Ho, but actually in a lot of toilets not in Tay-Ho, around Hanoi, you'll see a sticker on the wall and it's got Paul's face on it and it says "Better call Paul."
Better call Paul. Yeah. Paul's like, like the representation of Tay in Hanoi.
He's the rapper.
Yeah, he's the rapper.
He's in a rap group called the Uzi Flow Crew with my friend Nicky, my friend George. Although I don't know if George's doing it anymore, but they've got videos on YouTube and stuff. So anyway, I met Paul, and Paul was doing the One World Collective, which is where we fuse music, poetry, video. We edit videos that we project on a big screen, and then we have live painters. And Paul also ran an open mic night called Free Thoughts. So I was doing Free Thoughts and One More Collective, and I really enjoyed the community. I wrote some of my best stuff. I wrote Demons for One More Collective, which is one of my favorite poems. I've got quite a lot of stuff, good stuff. Either Fading Into Universe, right? I wrote that for One More Collective. So most of my best stuff, because you have a topic, and then you write for a month, 6 weeks, 2 months.
And I'm also aware that you were influenced by psychedelics a lot when you write your poems, correct?
Yes, but now I'm not able to link this video to my mother because I haven't had that conversation with her yet.
I can cut that out.
It's fine. I didn't experiment with anything like that until I smoked weed for years when I was a teenager, but I'm quite sensible. I don't really overdo it. But I smoked too much weed when I was a teenager, but I wouldn't do anything else.
I think everyone smoked a lot of weed when they were teenagers. As a high schooler, I smoked
a lot of people
tons
did.
of weed.
A lot of people did, but I was. My mother moved out and left me in a house for 3 years between 17 and 20, and I'd moved my friend in, and then all my mates would come around every day. So it was kind of it was a lifestyle for me. So between sort of 16 and 25, I smoked a lot of weed, but I never experimented with anything else. And it wasn't until I thought I was old enough, mature enough to be able to, do that without it getting the better of me.
Yeah.
So I experimented with a few things, and now if I do use anything, it's medicine.
Yeah.
I don't treat it as recreational, or it's just every now and again I'm like, yeah, I need to reconnect with the universe. So let's do that.
I totally get your point. Psilocybin mushrooms and LSD, they can cleanse your soul in a way. They can get you connected to your emotions and thoughts and
changes
Ego
your
death. Ego death.
changes
Yeah.
your perception of reality
Yeah.
in such a profound way, um, in a beautiful way. You know, I haven't had, and people say, was it good or was it bad? And I'm like, I don't think you can use good and bad to describe
No.
it. Like,
No.
it's just a thing. Like, I think that everyone should do it. I actually think they should prescribe this shit. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
but
Instead of fentanyl.
oh god, yeah,
Or yeah,
fentanyl.
or OxyContin,
Yeah.
which is like everyone can reach them with a
Yeah.
prescription.
Yeah, you know, like
That's totally screw up. Yeah.
oh, well, you want to get political with me? I'm gonna chew your ears for days. So, but yeah, I'm a socialist. I'm a real socialist. And I've got to go back to my country where fascism is rife. I'm going home in 9 days. I'm going back to England. So yeah, I'm gonna have to learn to keep my mouth shut a little bit again, probably.
Nah,
But,
no worries. Oh, there's been I have to keep my mouth shut actually because
Oh no.
I was recently busted by the police about regarding MDMA. So, you know MDMA, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not something that I really.
But you ever tried it before? Molly or
Yeah, like once or twice.
But basically, when I try MDMA, I feel like I'm very connected to my own soul. It's very so. Imagine peaking on LSD or psilocybin, and then it feels like you feel happiness. It's this contentment that lasts for 3 hours straight. It's
Yeah.
like all the serotonin in your brain is released. Yeah.
I have a lot of friends because I grew up in the 90s. I was
Oh
born-
wow, the techno scenes. There's a
Yeah.
lot of Molly going on.
all my friends are going off to raves, but I wasn't doing that at the time. But all of my friends were into rave music and ecstasy,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are no longer alive. Several of them took their own lives, and several of them are on medication for depression, and a medication for various other things. I've got one friend who he sweats profusely because of the drugs he has to take.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean he's all right. You know, he's married man. He's got 2 kids. He's
Yeah.
a lovely guy. But he definitely struggled as a result of his overindulgence in MDMA. So
There are consequences. So
Yeah.
so looking back on my drug bust, like I was at a club, and then the police came into the room and they piss test me, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm fucked because either I go to prison for 3 to 5 years, or I pay them. So I paid them 70 million Vietnam dong, which is about $2,600. I was hurt. Like I was like, fuck, that was a lot of money because for my age, that is a lot of money. And then looking back, I feel like it's a blessing because after that, I got, productive. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not touching that anymore. I'm gonna be more productive. So I started this podcast. So I started this podcast. I start, working, hustling, making like the motivation. I got the motivation to get that money back, and yeah, I feel actually happier before the bus because I was relying on MDMA too much because every once in a while, as in 3 or 4 weeks or so, I did Molly, and then it made me feel happy, but it also empty at the same time. I feel like without it, I cannot live because I feel in general like daily life, my daily
you
life.
built up a dependency.
Yeah, the dependency and the universe always has a way to teach you, me of course, and then yeah, that's how I was taught not to touch it anymore, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll do it again in the future, but I don't know. But
I don't
yeah.
think it's necessary. Like for example, I don't use stimulants. Like this is decaf tea with soy milk. I'm a vegan. I don't use stimulants. I don't use cocaine.
This is a stimulant. This is coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee. I drink decaf coffee
Yeah.
because I don't like my heart beating too fast.
Yeah.
I
Me
don't
too.
like
Me
that
too. Yeah.
tightness in your chest, the sweaty palms. It makes me anxious. So like, so a lot of these drugs that people take to have fun with
Yeah.
don't appeal to me in any shape or form. And weed just makes me paranoid, so I can't smoke that.
I get paranoid on weed all the time. We can talk like a lot about weed paranoia because as I mentioned earlier, I was smoking a lot of weed as a teenager, and as time went by, I did a lot of edibles too, and then as time went by, I felt like shit, like a small puff would send me into like a paranoia, like
Yep.
yeah, this sense of paranoia, and then I don't know why, I don't know, but as I grew older, my tolerance to weed is like lower, so I feel like it's just paranoia. But
We grew up. We were smoking soap bar, which is I don't know. Do you know what soap bar is?
what's that?
Soap bar.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a hashish. It
Oh,
comes in like
yeah,
a
yeah.
9 bar. It's got little lumps of plastic in it, and it's
Okay.
probably burns holes in your clothes.
Yeah.
But it's kind of mild. And yeah, we were smoking that when we were teenagers, and then like the hydro thing started happening. So like in the UK, everybody started hydroponics with big lights and stuff in their attic.
Yeah.
And there was just this massive influx of this really, really strong skunk weed. And yeah, everything changed. Like, it was-
Everything changed.
yeah, like, and yeah, it was, I think it was just, I mean, I know people who still smoke weed every day, and, you know, they can't understand why I don't want to, but personally, you know, I try not to be drugged up all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. And trying, now I grew older and wiser. I feel like drugs are not the answer, because I used to think that even psychedelics too, because psychedelics have helped me through the tough times. I did LSD for the first time as a 16-year-old, and it opened a lot of doors for me. The doors of perception, and but then I felt like I was too deep into that world. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't do it. Like, I don't think you should do it regularly.
yeah,
Like,
of course.
when I do, it's usually because I've been a bit depressed and down, and I've lost direction, and it just sort of grounds me. And I mean, obviously, it takes all of your focus away, and you know, you can't remember your name for a while.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you kind of reset, and I find that very beneficial.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it though, like to anyone, and it's not something I have a dependence on. It's not something I do a lot, and I don't do it for shits and giggles. I just do it because I think it's beneficial, right? But when you're saying about drugs don't work, I mean, like, everything's a drug. Sugar's a drug.
Yeah, it is a drug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's dependency. You know, we build dependencies for relationships. We build
Yeah,
dependency.
love is a drug. It
Yeah.
releases oxytocin,
Food.
serotonin, dopamine. This is a drug. I just finished a whole dish of chicken.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of the time I think it's your like relationship with what you're doing. But when something's like just to, you know, give you a bit of a woo-woo feeling in your head, like balloons, I don't get that. Like,
I love it.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't like that.
it's a good combination
And
when you
it's
do
so
it with
expensive
other
as well.
stuff.
It's like
Expensive here, but it's not usually.
it's like 5 times the price in the UK. Like,
yeah, I don't know why.
everything's 5 times the price in the UK.
Here in Hanoi.
In the UK,
Oh,
like 5
oh.
times the price in the UK, and people still do it there.
Okay.
But a lot of people they buy like the little canisters for
Nangs or
yeah, you get these little canisters that you used to make whipped cream with and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same stuff, and people buy them. You see them like if you walk around the streets in Bristol. I'm not sure whether it's still a fad.
Yeah.
When I was there before, you'd see these empty canisters all over the place. And people have been just doing gas. I don't. It doesn't interest me. Like
You never got into that kind of thing.
I've tried it.
Well, I've met a lot of people, and some people are into that balloons, some people are not into balloons, and there's no in between. So like you're totally, not into it. And I met a lot of my friends who do like 50 or 60 balloons at once, and I can totally get where they're coming from because it's so good. I feel so good on it. I don't know, man. It feels good to me,
It's not
especially
good.
when it's a combination
I've
with
physically caught people. Like,
What?
I've watched people smash their teeth out. And on balloon, they pass out on their face. I've seen people fit on the floor several times.
Ew, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't like
Well,
that.
I'm not advocating for
Yeah.
for balloons
I
because
like
it's not good for your brain. Like Kanye West did do balloons, and
Yeah.
look what
Well,
happened to
research
him.
shows that, psychedelics are good for your brain.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of research into it. It's to say that this stuff's actually good for you. Like, obviously, in moderation, I'd imagine. But,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
anything. But it's, so what? That's the only thing I really mess with. I'm going home soon. And I fell off the wagon and started smoking about 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I gave up 2 days ago. Then I fell off the wagon last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I've not had any today. But I'm pretty positive about my approach. I'm pretty sure that I won't be a smoker very soon. But
Like even cigarettes.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, like nicotine's an awful drug.
Yeah, it is.
It's like really bad. Like
Yeah.
like nicotine is worse than a lot of other these illegal drugs because basically it's very 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 addictive. It's likely to kill you, and congest your chest. Plus, it alters your moods because it's so addictive. It alters your moods. I grew up with 2 smoking parents, so I mean,
It's interesting because I've never been addicted to nicotine. So
You have.
So no.
if you smoke, you're addicted.
No.
It's a physical addiction.
So, okay. So if I drink a cup of coffee, then am I addicted to the coffee? Like I drink it once every 6 months. Am I?
The thing about nicotine is it goes. There's a book I read. Every time I want to give up, I read the book.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, you get physical cravings when it leaves your body, right?
I don't get it.
I think that's unlikely.
No,
Because
no. I'm one of those.
that would make you a miracle of modern day science.
No, because I'm one of the like I've never met anyone like me like
Oh, really?
who's never who's not addicted to cigarettes. So I've never found myself like actively going out to buy cigarettes. Like I've never done that. So it's
Alright.
always like someone offering me like when on a coffee table like hey I'll have a cigarette and then
I don't like it. I mean, I do. Obviously, I do it. At the moment, I've fallen off a little bit.
I know
But,
some people can quit it quite easily.
A lot of people, it's dangerous. It's likely to kill you, if you do it.
It is, yeah.
So, and I mean, we're all gonna die, I guess. of
Yeah, we're
something.
gonna die anyway.
Yeah, but it might happen. I lost my best friend when he was 25, car accident. But drugs were involved. The decisions we make, and I've had another. What? How old am I? I'm 48. So this was 20.
I can kind of turn that conversation back into the hip hop
Yeah.
topic because there's a song by Wu-Tang called Cream that is short for Cash Through Everything Around Me.
I know this song.
And then
Of course I do.
and then there's a Vietnamese rap group called Hustle Click. Shout out to Hustle Click. They made a song called Dream, which is drugs ruin everyone around me.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's a brilliant, brilliant song, brilliant concept, and there's some certain truth to that because
I'm
drugs can heal you physically and mentally, but they also can wreck you if you're not careful.
I mean, I've lost, some close friends, some not so close friends, but lots of people I know have died due to one drug or the other. Whether it be alcohol or heroin, I've known people who died from as a result.
Morphine, heroin or cocaine. And,
Yeah. So it's like I think when you get a little bit older, and because obviously I've seen the world a bit in the last 14 years.
Yeah.
I went through a big breakup, and I went insane basically, and I quit my job, and eventually I ended up just backpacking, and then I ended up living in other countries. But one of the things that you find is when you meet a lot of very lost and broken people when you're on the road. Those people, the people you meet, a lot of them, they're throwing it all in, and they're like, forget this, I'm gonna go somewhere else and do something. I need something. I need to go and find something. So a lot of these people are searchers, and they're a lot of them are broken, and a lot of them are very interesting. Even my friends I grew up with are interesting, but this is the people you meet in these multinational communities, in these traveler routes, you know, because you're drawn to people who go, I don't speak Vietnamese very well. I'm không nói tiếng Việt.
Oh, you know some Vietnamese words before we came to the podcast. He said
I'm
some words in
Viet-
Vietnamese,
not it.
a little bit.
Yeah, like I speak a little and I understand a little, but you know, when you're traveling, you meet other English speakers. They're also traveling, and they found friends almost immediately. So you get to meet all of these really interesting, and a lot of the time, broken people. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's inspired a lot of my writing, the people I meet, and a lot of my life philosophy is based around unplugging from the life I used to lead and discovering something completely different.
I'd like to review like a big project that I'm making, but I think it kind of stopped now. So it was it's been going on for about 2 years now. The project is about all the drugs I ever taken, and my experience with them. So have you ever heard of Alexander Strugan?
Nah.
He was a huge psychedelic guy in the 20th century, and he and his wife, they would synthesize new drugs every other week, and then they would try it, like and they experiment and
They're not the
write
painters
down.
ones. They're
What?
not the painters.
No, that's Alex Gray.
That's
Yeah,
the Greys,
but
yeah.
Alex Strugan was a whole another level because
Okay.
he was a scientist too. So so I think this project is stopped, but I've written enough about my experience with all kinds of drugs, from LSD to psilocybin and 2CB and obscure drugs.
Interestingly though, like with your experience with tobacco, everyone's experience is somewhat unique. Like there are obviously similarities, but we are all unique. So we're all going to have our own unique experience, which is interesting.
But back to your topic about how writing writing was influenced by your experience with meeting a lot of people, like traveling around. I feel like there's two camps of writers. One that is who reads a lot and they are influenced by what they read, and two, the people who doesn't read much, but they live and they tell a story, and they kind of
I'm both of those people.
Yeah, you're in somewhere in between, but I think there's two types of writers.
I go through phases of reading a lot, and then I go, like recently I've not really read much. I'm reading a book called Fully Automated Luxury Communism at the moment by a guy called Aaron Bastani, and I've not picked it up for over a week. And I'll pick it up and I'll read a few chapters every now and again.
Okay.
But sometimes when I'm backpacking, I download, usually I have a Kindle, I just download a load of classics and I just get deep into it.
Get deep into it, yeah.
I was on Koh Phangan for 6 months a few years ago, and I read, I think, between 18 and 20 self-help books. Because I'm interested in self-help. My father died while I was in the UK, and I had some things to process. And I'm really, really interested in clinical psychology. And those two genres, clinical psychology and self-help, they overlap a lot. They
do, yeah. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think it was written by a psychologist, or the first, like one of the first self-help books ever.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's a book I really love by a guy called Daniel Kahneman called Thinking Fast and Slow.
Oh, that was one of my first self-help books I ever read.
It's amazing. It's a great. It's not a self book.
He mentioned the Beatles like playing 10,000. Like, have you heard of the 10,000 hours rule? So if you do something 10,000 hours, then you would get good at it, regardless of how frequent.
What that book does is it qualifies to you how vulnerable you are, and how easily tricked you are, and how suggestible you are. It's a theme that runs through a lot of my poems. We need to be very cautious of what we allow into our head.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
This is the great power. The great power is the power to control people. And the more you can educate yourself about the techniques being used, you're still vulnerable. You're still very vulnerable, but the less vulnerable you are, and you can see those signs of people maybe manipulating you that you might have otherwise missed.
Yeah.
And I think that, it definitely changed it qualified my perspective on like geopolitics and political rhetoric and media rhetoric and things like that. When you've read the book, you can see that the things that they're doing are textbook manipulation techniques, and is undeniable.
Yeah.
And whereas before you've studied it, you might ask yourself whether you're paranoid, conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But once you've read the literature, and it's worked on you, because Daniel Kahneman does it on you in the book, and it's like, you thought this, you did this, didn't you? This is what I did. This is the research behind it.
Yeah.
And that's why it works.
That's why it was, and then you're suddenly you're not paranoid anymore, because it kind of makes sense that everything that you thought about, wow. So it totally makes sense now.
It's kind of what poetry is. You want to manipulate people to see things from your perspective, right? Mm-hmm. When you storytell, you want to send people on a particular journey in order to evoke a particular emotion, right? Yeah. And it's not manipulative, but you're still using, like, even subconsciously, you don't need to study the techniques, but it's interesting, you're still using all of these references to things that might be deep in people's worldviews.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not religious, I'm an agnostic, but I'll make religious references all day long because I understand the power. The power of indoctrination, and how you can get a certain reaction or a certain emotional response from same children's programs.
What you say that the emotions that you are evoked from writing in general, not just poetry, but also articles, novel, are the same as the emotions that you are evoked from music. Because music, I think, is the ultimate form of expressing oneself. Before one can learn language, I think there's a saying that before one can learn to read, they sing, and I feel like I've always had this feeling that I'm not good at music, because and that kind of bums me out, because what?
I play the guitar so badly and I sing terribly.
But like, so you can relate to that. I don't know if you can relate to that or not, but I feel like I cannot express myself to the fullest, because music, I think, express oneself more than, like, let's say writing, or maybe I'm just maybe I'm just a little pessimistic, because some writing can touch you very, very much, but it's just sometimes it's just words.
I mean, music is you're speaking to a different part of the psyche. So words, you have to go through your. I mean, I'm not a brain surgeon, or I don't understand this stuff very well, but words are processed by a certain part of your brain.
Yeah,
we're not we're emotional creatures that use language. Language isn't a natural phenomenon. It's something that we've developed, right?
Yeah.
And like And in some ways, I think language cripples us, because it's there's a line that ends one of my poems, which is the futility of language that mutes the master's soul, right? You know, it's kind of like I'm never gonna be able to get you to understand my experience exactly through words.
Only the closest that we can get. Yeah, especially like
it's limited.
We can never explain psychedelic experience to people who never tried that before.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's like seeing the color red for the first time when you're colorblind, for instance. You can never explain that. No.
Yeah. Well, they've also allegedly discovered new colors, but we can't see them.
Yeah.
Because they're on the infrared spectrum.
How the hell does one explain the world to a blind person, right?
Yeah. Exactly, but you know, my world is. Everybody is blind to my world but me, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what we do. We're our whole lives we're trying to connect with people and be understood and to understand. You know, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And poetry, I think, is a really great medium for that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you take poetry and you fuse it with music, which is something else, it's like mixing your drugs.
Yeah.
And then you get like this thing, which is really, really powerful.
Isn't that hip hop mixing poetry with
well, it's any music with lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, I write songs as well, like, and I play them really badly at the open mics.
No, but you can play it. You can come up. So, okay. So, quick question: what's the different process between making music and making poetry and writing in general? Like the creative process behind those two. What's the difference?
I think. If I start without a beat, that idea was born as a poem. It's just the words.
Yeah.
But if I start with a beat, then that idea is kind of it's a song or it's hip hop. But loads of my poems have become hip hop songs, and loads of my hip hop songs have become poems. And you can deliver and do it either way because I'm a rhyming poet. Like I do write prose, and I can write prose, and people have told me that stuff I've written is quite good, but it's not my passion. And we write prose every time we speak. I'm writing prose right now, right?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You know, I'm telling stories, and that's what prose is. So. And also, English is a stress time language.
Yeah.
So I'm also bobbing my head and bouncing every time I speak. I'm doing this, right?
Yeah.
We do it. It's just something that we do, and it's there, right? There's that beats there. So it doesn't impress me as much as rhyming hip hop, because anyone can do it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And rhyming hip hop is more about. There's a scientific element to it. You're thinking about your structure of your stanza. Like when you write a poem, you know, it's like it's painted by numbers. A lot of it, A B A B A B C A B C B or whatever, and then like when you write in hip hop, it's pretty much the same thing, but you've got a lot of internal rhyme structures, couplets, assonance, alliteration.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have the word plays.
Yeah.
And the metaphors and the analogies.
Yeah.
And like, so there's all of these different things that you're using, and then you're putting it together and making it rhyme. I mean, that's cool.
That's very impressive. Yeah.
I've always thought that was really cool.
I always see like some people are like, you know, they don't like hit rappers because they say like, they're just, you know, dumb people who cannot write
Some
music.
of them are,
but rappers are brilliant, are freaking brilliant.
Some of them are awful though, aren't they?
Yeah, some, but like, you get what I'm saying? Because, you know, like great rappers, I'm saying that they can write, like they can make them rhyme. They can write it like it's tell a story at the same time.
Yeah.
They can make it listenable.
Yeah.
And that's you know, that's very hard. That's like balancing, you know, all of those elements.
And then you've got delivery. You
Yeah,
need to
delivery
learn to
too, yeah.
breathe.
Yeah.
You know, you need to time it. You need to find the pockets in the beat. I'm not the greatest rapper, but I do rap.
Uh-huh.
I go to the hip hop night and get on the mic, and I've got loads of bars I can use and stuff. I mean, a lot of people will hear my stuff. Sadly, a lot of people are into hip hop. If I'm not talking about shooting people and selling drugs
Yeah.
and pimping women,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, that's not hip hop.
And that's
But-
bullshit.
Well, of course it is.
Because
right?
because hip hop was born out of none of that.
Oh, yeah,
none
it
of
was
that.
born out of the.
Born out of our community of black people who got
I mean,
oppressed by the police.
but you know, there's been poetry over music for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's a manifestation that happens in every culture known to man, right? Hip hop is. There's the elements of hip hop, isn't there? So there's the b-boy,
Yeah.
the graph, the beats, and the rap, right? And then this is like it's a subgenre community, right? So, and it came out in New York, right, in the
Yeah, yeah.
70s.
In the 70s, that's
Yeah.
where it was born.
Yeah, so hip hop is kind of a kind of rap music, but we call poems over beats.
Yeah.
We call that
Yeah.
hip hop. Is it? I mean, if I haven't got a New York accent and I'm not also performing with a graph artist and a b-boy, and there's not somebody scratching, like, it's not that hip hop, right? But the word has become like a collective noun for a broader range, because cultures are different. The reason I don't
Yeah, the definition can change. It can change over time, and
absolutely. I was arguing with somebody last night
yeah,
because in America, techno,
yeah,
they use it to describe all electronic dance music. It's techno.
In the
England,
90s, yeah.
techno is like gabba. It's like that really hard bang 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 bang.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a subgenre of dance music to
Yeah.
us, and that's just the difference in regional. What's the word I'm looking for? Regional word descriptions, right? Semantics.
Yeah,
It's
semantics.
a difference in semantics. That's the word I was trying to find in my brain. Yeah, and I'm fascinated by that because you can play with that. Like, semantics are what you play with in your rhymes. You know that you can say this one sentence and it means something very different to different people, right?
Yeah,
There are words that we use to describe. The word we use to describe cigarettes in England is a
Yeah.
very offensive homophobic slur
yeah,
in America, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we should stop using it because they evolve differently, right?
Yeah.
It's different. It's a different thing. Like we use it to describe cigarettes. That's what it is to us.
yeah,
And the other one thing is these little meatballs.
Yeah.
They've got the same name as well.
Yeah.
Like, but that's part of our history. So, offensive terms, the way language evolves, and the way they'll have things like the term, all these negative terms like idiot and moron and there's lots of these negative terms which started out as real words to describe mentally ill people,
yeah,
and over time those words are used with hateful intent,
Yeah.
so they change the word and they make a new word. We've got in the UK a charity called the Spastic Society. Spastic was a completely politically correct term to describe somebody who was physically handicapped. I don't know if I can say handicapped anymore, is it? See, like, you don't know, like, as time goes by,
yeah,
these words sort of fall off. And what you do is you demonize a whole generation of people who've been using this term for years, completely innocently, with no ill intent. And all of a sudden they say this and everyone's like, you can't say that. Happened to my grandmother. Like, I remember,
it's all about the context.
yeah, intent. Intent is
Intent
key
and
with
context.
everything.
Yeah,
Intent is key with everything. And I think that, like, I mean, I'm not against political correctness, right? But political correctness is a word that means multiple things now.
yeah, yeah. It means so words can like change over time.
Exactly.
And I feel like we talked earlier about how language is the barrier, but it also can mean a lot of things. So as a writer, I feel like words can have an impact that depending on our context.
But when a word is taboo like that,
Yeah,
and you use it in a poem,
Yeah.
if your intent's good,
yeah,
like, and you have a message,
yeah,
but you can play with that word,
yeah,
and you can play with the emotions of the listener,
yeah.
that puts a whole lot of power in the poem. And it will instill, you can instill ideas, like, you know, you can make people go away with an experience that they'll remember, you
Yeah.
know, in a positive way, hopefully. You know, so yeah, language is beautiful. I love the way it,
I love language, man.
Yeah.
I love language.
I love the way it, I wish I could speak more of
Yeah,
yours.
that's why I love music. I listen to all kinds of music, and I love words. So rap is like, you know, one of my favorite passions like ever. And do you write rap songs a lot?
Yeah, I've got quite a few rap songs.
Oh wow, we should consider yourself a rapper,
Sometimes.
rap artist.
The thing is, people are like, they hear my poems and they're like, oh, what, are you published? I've never really wanted to be published. Like, is publishing why would you, like, so that you can share it? Well, I like to share my stuff on a stage,
Yeah,
on a microphone. That's how I like to share it. Or I read it to somebody in person. When it's read off the page, a lot of the context, you know, like, I can read the same poem on a different night and have it come across in a totally different way, depending on my mood,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? So I never wanted to do that. I never thought of myself as being particularly good. It's only really since I've started reading my stuff to other people, and people are saying to me, wow, you're really, really talented. And I'm like, I don't think I am. Like, I'm just writing stuff down.
yeah,
and
yeah.
sharing
You
it,
just
know?
just express what you feel inside and what
Yeah.
you think and feel, and then that's the people who are having these kind of compliments.
Yeah.
I bet Jimi Hendrix did not think he was good at guitar. He
I
just
think-
like he just loved doing it. He just loved what he was doing.
And I think that's great. Like, you know, you should remain humble. You should remain meek with it. Because otherwise your whole perspective will change and you probably lose your creativity. You know,
Yeah,
you-
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
To please other people.
yeah.
That's the worst. Yeah.
And I think that, like, when you start publishing your poets and you become a published poet, when you start releasing your music and you get a gigging artist
With
Yeah.
with a label.
with a label, and, you know, and you're a promoter and you're spending money on your promotion and you're doing this and that, the whole experience would change for you. And I never wanted to do that. I mean, if I thought that I could put all my poems in a book and it'd become a bestseller,
Yeah.
and I'd be like a multi-millionaire, like, overnight,
Maybe.
you know, I'd feel very naked. My stuff's very personal. Like, a lot of the stuff in my poems, people don't realize how true a lot of those things are. Like, it's almost like standing naked in front of somebody.
Yeah, yeah. I totally get you. It feels like everyone's read your mind, your soul.
Yeah.
It's being exposed by millions of people.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's, I suppose it's the definition of selling out. And when people talk about a sellout, they're people who understand the philosophy of not monetizing your art, right? And the beauty of it. You know, I'm a foolish romantic. You know, like, this is the way I work, and my life is a tragedy. And if I was to change that, I wouldn't be me anymore. I kind of like being me.
It's all about being yourself in
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Whether you're a writer, you're a painter, DJ, rapper, whatever. Be yourself. Be
Yeah.
yourself, guys.
Yeah, man, sick.
Don't be John Lennon. Don't be a version of John Lennon or I don't know, Paul McCartney or so. Just be yourself.
Yeah, don't be me.
Be me though. There's about 5 minutes left to this podcast,
Okay.
and
So what we doing?
I heard that you're going soon back to the UK.
Yep.
And what have been your thoughts about Vietnam in general, especially the writing and the art scenes in Vietnam?
So I really like living in Vietnam. and I like a lot of the people I meet.
Mm-hmm.
But I do tend to live in a bubble. And I do that because I love living in multinational communities. I love meeting you. You're from Vietnam.
Yeah.
But I've got friends here from every continent that speak multiple languages.
Yeah.
And I think that when you live in a big city like Hanoi, you have the opportunity to live like that. And when we live in a world, I'm quite political. Like, I've not got into that on this podcast. We could do another one. And
I don't like politics either.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
like politics. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that the world is so divisive. But it's very difficult to be divisive when you're sat around a table with people from everywhere. And yeah, you're going to have some heated debates.
Yeah.
Like, but I love that. And I love living it. I think Hanoi's a beautiful city. It's cute. It's not going to be cute for long.
There's been a lot of changes in Hanoi recently and in the near future. And we, as a Hanoian, I grew up here. I don't like it either.
They knocked down my favorite cafe. I mean, they've moved, but
there's been a lot of places closing
my
soon.
Favorite bars.
Yeah, HRC is closing. Close.
Yeah.
Got to the ashes.
We used
and
to do the one more day.
yeah, Whiskey, Mystic, and Man. Soon, and a lot of my favorite places are going soon.
They built Vader's Castle up on the peninsula. What's that build? You know the big black buildings, the two next to each other?
Nah, I don't remember.
They top of Dang Tai Mai. There's that huge building.
Yeah.
It's black and it sticks up out the. It's ugly. I call it Vader's Castle because Vader's Castle in Star Wars, and it has a very Empire vibe to it.
Yeah. It's very menaceful.
It's menacing.
Yeah, menacing. Yeah.
And I think that it's a sign of the time. You know, like the Empire is modern day pseudo capitalism. Like we're just building big square structures. It's like some 70s dystopian movie, like where they did the weird dystopias with everything was clinical and clean and straight edges and there was no beauty, It was just boxes.
Okay.
And I feel like Hanoi's losing a lot of its beauty.
It's just sad because it's all about the money.
Yeah.
It's all about the class war.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's still beautiful.
It is beautiful. The culture is still there, but it's by each day it's gone. Like day by day, it's. I just one of the reasons why I do this podcast because I try to keep the culture up even if it's not there physically. I feel like we can talk with different kinds of people, and then we can know more about the culture. Yeah,
that's my thing.
Yeah,
I really love meeting people with stories that I haven't heard. It's interesting.
It's interesting to meet you, and thank you for sharing a lot with us this afternoon.
Yeah,
rainy afternoon.
When
Let's
you
say.
putting this
Yeah, maybe within this week, maybe today or tomorrow.
Okay,
yeah.
we're doing a One More Collective on the 27th. I'm not very prepared for it, but we're doing it at Boombox.
Oh, I have a flight to Dallas on the 26th.
Well, yeah, but they might.
Might
be around.
I'll put a link out there, and then
I don't know how prepared I'll be for it because I'm a bit sketched out about going home. But I've written the first verse, and the theme's the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's a music, poetry fusion event with like live painters and stuff. It's in Boombox, which is 50 to not ban, I believe.
Yeah, but anyone in Hanoi, then just come check it out. To meet Paul, to meet Kieron, and thank you for being on my podcast.
No worries. Cheers, bro.
And have a good trip to the UK.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And see you guys in the next podcast when I come back to Hanoi, okay? See ya.